Fear, anxiety. Pisces is the feeler of feeler signs. It's a sponge. It's absorbent to everything. The benefits of this is being able to connect with others on the deepest level possible, through the soul. Pisces being the sign embodying the 11 other signs enables Pisces to be merged with everyone here. It's the final sign, the sign that's seen it all and been through it all. So it's sort of like a guru of the zodiac, the grandparents, the wise ones. But what comes with this all-knowing and connecting of all souls is lots of fears and anxiety. These fears Pisces has isn't made up in the imagination. They aren't irrational. It all comes from basically knowing too much and being in touch with the psyche of all, past and present. A general awareness is what helps Pisces navigate through this life. It allows Pisces to be so intuitively blessed that no form of armor is needed. Pisces is a sign that operates like they have built-in sensors. So with saying that, you'd think Pisces has nothing to fear. But look at it like, you know your car has airbags and will cushion you if you have an accident. Say you've had a few accidents before and came out fine. You yourself know your airbags work great. Pisces will fear that the airbags may not work one of the times, and why is that? Because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is 100%. Maybe if we lived on Neptune, it'll be 100%, but Earth is not Pisces' domain, so it will never be 100%. In the Pisces psyche is not only the times where your airbags worked fine, but also the times where someone's airbags didn't. A time where airbags didn't even matter, because something fell from above on top of the car roof, crushing it. It's basically being aware of everything, life and death related, so Pisces will know that even though they have sensors and knowledge, they are still prone to damage. No one is immune. So Pisces turns into someone who knows everything that can go wrong, whilst trying to remain optimistic basically, which when you deep that isn't a nice position to be in. It's like being pessimistic and optimistic at the same time. That Virgo side in the Pisces sign is lively, being the opposite sign Pisces learns most from when it comes to Earth. When a Pisces is young, a Pisces can resemble a Leo child, because both signs are expressively creative, and Leos are typically fearless people. They may have anxiety, but typical Leos are going to perform for the love of it. The performing itself will soothe their soul. When Pisces are young and or asleep, I call it the dreamer stage, where life's basically a dream. They aren't locked into responsive Pisces mode yet. It's just dreams and fantasies, la la land. This Pisces will showcase their talents without much fear, as the artistic expression itself will soothe the Pisces soul, like Leo. Let's say a Pisces is a singer from a child. They love to sing. Da, 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 da. So they grow up performing. Along the way, something will happen to humble the Pisces because again, like Leos, Pisces can be very confident in their abilities, etc. Because it's natural. So something will happen to humble them or dissolve the ego, so to speak. When this happens, it's like Pisces gets switched on. Something clicks and it's like putting on a headset that is receiving signals from everywhere, but you also got your own little personal guide. In astrology, they use words like self-undoing when it comes to the 12th house and Pisces, and people see that as like Pisces just destroying their self through substances. Yeah, it can go that way, but it can also go the way of submitting to the collective, to the soul, to the psyche. So it ends up being no self. It becomes Pisces being at one with everything and everyone. From this stage, this Pisces singer will now be aware of everything that comes with their singing talent. Before it was just performing to the crowd because you love to sing and it soothes your soul. Now, random thoughts, things of like assassinations can creep into the Pisces mind. Stick with me, it sounds insane, I know. But the thing is, these things have happened to people before. Pisces doesn't even have to be aware of it in this lifetime, like reading about it in the papers, but they can get that feeling in their soul. And that is because their soul is connected to the psyche of all, so it's aware of everything that's happened, and if it has happened before, it can and will happen again. Pisces are all about things going full circle. It's about cycles, the end of the cycle. So now this Pisces can have a fear and be anxious about performing, which can appear as irrational to others, but to the Pisces, that it's a possibility, you can never write it off. This is literally how Pisces stays 2 steps ahead, because they think of and prepare themselves for so many what-if scenarios long before they even happen. You can apply this example to anything in life as a Pisces, because the type of thing that Pisces fears is not the unknown, but the possibility of being caught off guard by the known. This humbling, this dissolving of ego doesn't happen the way it does in Leo, the way it does in Pisces. So Leos can remain fearless and deal with whatever comes their way. Leos will tear down most opposing things. Pisces gets led to a stage where they get made aware of it long before it happens, even if it may never happen. So naturally, a certain level of anxiety will be there with any sort of thing in life, but it allows Pisces to be ready, which leads Pisces to not even being surprised at anything in life, which can be a beautiful but sad thing. I read a story not long ago of a girl called Christina Grimmie, a Pisces, who was shot after one of her concerts. It's weird, I'm not one of those people who check out everyone's star sign etc, but whenever I hear certain stories or see certain actions, I get prompted to check further, and they always happen to be a Pisces, or at least a water sign. So she posted a video on social media for people in an area she was performing in to attend her show. After the performance, she was signing autographs. Then this guy came up to her and didn't say anything. So being a typical Pisces trying to make others feel comfortable, she opened her arms to give him a hug and he shot her. The Pisces brother tackled the guy, but the guy eventually ended up shooting himself. Now, God bless this Pisces and may her soul rest in peace. No one can tell if she had warning signs or anything, but if she was in the dreamer state of Pisces, then this is what will easily, and I mean easily, happen to a Pisces in general. And do you want to know what the fucked up thing about it is? The guy that did it was another fucking Pisces. His reason for doing this was, apparently, he saw Christina Grimmie on TV and became obsessed with her. Fell in love with her. Refer to my fantasy video to understand what happens here. So fell in love with her, changed things about his self for her acceptance, then discovered she had a boyfriend and it broke his heart. He felt betrayed even though he had never met her before. I repeat, he fell in love with her, changed things about himself for her acceptance, then discovered she had a boyfriend and it broke his heart. He felt betrayed even though he'd never met her before. I said this is a Libra dark trait in the mirror video because this is what Venus can do. But this is where it can get really dark with a Pisces because of the fantasies and dreams Neptune makes possible on the next level. So pair that with the dreamer stage Pisces, then it's dangerous as hell. So when he saw Christina was local, that he fell out of love with her and felt betrayed, he went there with the intention of sharking. That is dreamer Pisces switching to shark stage and the dark side of Pisces. The guy never said a word to this love of his life that broke his heart that he finally gets to see in person. He just went there, then 187'd her, and then himself. Fishes eat other fishes. Again, I don't know Christina Grimmie, but even if she was in shark mode and locked into all her senses, it wouldn't have mattered, because she was up against another Pisces she never even knew existed. A hidden enemy, who made her a target, and she would have only known when it was too late, when that shark fin was literally in her face. Who and what is Pisces most scared of than anything? A Pisces, their self. And stories like this is why. Pisces can be scared of another Pisces. They can be scared of their own demon inside. Pisces aren't scared of people. They don't hide. They disappear to heal, chill, or plot. And if they do hide, They will be hiding from what they are hiding with, because it's all from within with Pisces. So something will always get to a Pisces. Other humans is the least of a Pisces worries. All Pisces fears will come from 12th house things. Things behind the scenes, things that is not known to the typical human. A Pisces can have extremely realistic dreams where they've committed a serious crime and feel all that fear and anxiety of being caught literally feeling sick to their stomach. And then wake up and be extremely thankful it was a dream. You're sleeping next to your Pisces partner and they're jumping out of their sleep like, oh my god, I just had a dream I pulled up on my ops, but the gun jammed and they ran towards me. You can be like, what do you mean ops? You harvest cayenne peppers that sell in grocery stores cross state. So to others, it can all sound ridiculous, but to the Pisces being in touch with the psyche, it's not irrational or illogical, because it may not be that Pisces reality, what they just dreamed about, but it is someone else's somewhere in the world, or has been someone else's experience. Millions of people's realities, and that's the type of connection Pisces has to all, and it will be much stronger in the dream world than reality, naturally. So Pisces can have crazy anxiety over shit that has never been seen on Earth before. On the flip side, they can align with their fears and bring it all here. There's times where you can be having a nightmare, and midway through, you actually become conscious in the dream, where you realize you're dreaming and can calm yourself in the dream, knowing all you have to do is open your eyes and wake up out of it. When you're a Pisces and have so many dreams, you get familiar with the dream world. That foggy, mystical place, you get familiar with it to the point where you can consciously do things in the subconscious. It's trippy stuff, and this is why I say I don't do drugs. Because when you're unlocked and naturally high as a Pisces, drugs on top of it can literally send you to a place of no return. That won't scare some Pisces, so that is literally why they will do it. Unless you're a Pisces, you wouldn't have a clue. You'll think Pisces is scared to talk to people and afraid of this and that earthly matter. No, they've literally got bigger fish to fry. And the last thing that the healer stage of Pisces, the highest vibration of Pisces, will not fear is death. No true Pisces is scared of death because they are death. In what we call death as humans, you can actually become more alive than what you are right now because you merge with everything again. You're not trapped in the human shell anymore. You expand out and become a part of everything. Pisces gets to a stage where they don't fear their self, which includes the psyche of all. And once that happens, absolutely nothing will faze them, which can be a good and a bad thing. Depends on the scenario at hand, but they will be ready for anything. Like that Beanie Siegel song, I can feel it in the air. The same way Aries are fearless warriors, not knowing or caring who they are up against, Pisces becomes fearless warriors, knowing who they are up against. It all comes full circle, and this can happen at any stage in a Pisces life. Do not underestimate anyone in general, but also never judge any Pisces by their age. Because when you talk Pisces, you're talking the spirit, the soul. A thing a Pisces may be afraid of when it comes to others though is being exposed. Not like exposed for wearing fake designer or stuff like that, but being emotionally read, how they emotionally read others. This can also include a Pisces force. This is why Pisces are typically quiet, to not appear different. Pisces likes to appear balanced, not too weak, because they don't want the pity party. They naturally don't like the spotlight in any form unless they are acting in good and bad ways. And not to appear too strong, because people might not want to be around them or feel intimidated, so Pisces likes to appear neutral. But when a Pisces is in a weakened state, like stressed out, too many negative thoughts, or just in the need of spiritual cleansing, they will isolate to avoid being read. Pisces, fortunately, doesn't need healing from anyone external. They have all the tools to heal themselves, and that's what they will do, alone, when matured. The water signs, more than the others, will detect when Pisces is weakened or negative, because it's all in the ocean. If Pisces is weakened and around a Cancer, Cancers will sense it and want to heal the Pisces if it's their close people. But again, the Pisces in their soul won't like to feel vulnerable. Plus, some Cancers, depending on the circumstance, will use that opportunity to finish the Pisces off. If the Pisces is around a Scorpio and going through some shit, they will not want to make eye contact because Scorpio more than the rest will look in a Pisces' eyes and can pick up they need healing and will try heal. Again, Pisces will be appreciative of the help but won't like the fuss because only Pisces can heal itself. Plus, Pisces won't always like looking in a Scorpio's eyes because they will absorb all that dark shit they got going on inside. And the same with Cancers, some Scorpios can use that opportunity to gain control. Kick you when you're down sort of thing, if they sense weakness. Depends on the scenario. Others can help, but Pisces will know, no matter what help others come with, they will still have to find that alone time to mend themselves. So it can be seen as a delaying of personal healing for Pisces, if anyone fusses over them. All that talking, all that, are you okay? Pisces don't need that. We are more resilient than people even realise. Even at full strength, and as stealthy and ghost-like a Pisces can be, they will always have a certain level of anxiety in case they get detected. Pisces will surprise their own self over time with how much things they get away with when the spotlight's not on them. And that's what will make Pisces keep the spotlight off them in general, but especially when it comes to their own feelings and emotions. Because Pisces may be the sponge to all, but they can also wring that sponge out on you and fill you up with everything that sponge soaked up too. When healthy, we wring it out in silence away from everyone else to heal ourselves and simultaneously protect others. Floyd Mayweather Jr. once said, "You have to protect yourself at all times. What goes around, comes around." Sadness. A Pisces will be very familiar with the feeling of sadness, unfortunately. They can get very comfortable with sadness and self-pity. Oh, my neck and my back, ow. But that's not what a Pisces is supposed to be doing in the long run. You see, your environment plays a big role in your mindset, your growth, your influences. But what matters in the end is the soul. And in the soul contains feelings, emotions. Emotions is what makes you a real person. Emotions is what means you are alive. And it's no surprise the sign at the end of the zodiac, represented by mutable water, is the most in touch with the emotions of not only their self, but the collective too. There's no barriers. Emotions is everything. It's the ocean. It's energy in motion. So it matters, but same time it doesn't matter how you grew up or your surroundings, because you can be born rich, have everything, never had a hard day in your life, and still be severely depressed. You got all the materials, all the friends, you got everything, but in your soul, something's unfulfilled. And this is what Pisces is about. It's nourishing the soul, not the body. It's about the completion of the soul's journey. And although Pisces is the final sign, the journey isn't complete yet. So the soul is at the forefront to transcend in Pisces. That this world we are in revolves around rules, accomplishments, and materials, it's like one big distraction until you get to Pisces and like half of Aquarius. The zodiac represents areas of life, which can also be translated into human ages. The soul goes through a journey of the life experience. You can see a progression. So when you get to the highest stage, here on Earth, you get to Capricorn. Earth is Capricorn's home. They're the oldest Earth sign and represents the things I've just mentioned: rules, accomplishments, and materials. Now, understand these things can mean everything to the human on Earth, and absolutely fuck all to the soul in the end. The end being Pisces, because Pisces' home and connection is to what created Earth. It's bigger than Earth. It's everything. Pisces isn't Earth's water. It's ether that occupies Earth's water. Pisces represents the universal ocean. Technically, Earth's water is Cancer, and Scorpio lives there too. This is why it's easier for these two water signs to thrive and survive here on Earth. Cancers will create a home anywhere, and Scorpio can lay low on the ground anywhere. Pisces is formless, so when on Earth, mixes with the most fluid energy here on Earth, which is water. That's why I say Pisces rules the ocean, and the ocean rules Cancers. So naturally, when you look at it like that, by the time you reach Pisces, which is transcendence, or potential transcendence, if you haven't been in touch with your soul whilst being on Earth in all the other signs before, you won't be happy internally. Naturally, you will enter Pisces in negative. I'll say something in regards to the zodiac, where I think there's 3 times where you can touch your soul before you reach Pisces. And that's first in Aries, second Leo, and third in Scorpio. Potentially. Aries because it's the start of the soul's journey. Aries are the babies of the zodiac, but they are also full of so much life, so much get up and go energy. They're the cardinal of the cardinals, all for the fact that the sun is exalted. So the sun gets to have fun. Any journey you embark on, you want to start in the best condition. Although it doesn't mean you won't finish your journey if you start out bad. But Aries are first for a reason. It's big bang. It's bursts of fire. It's the start of life. So the soul's happy. Leo, because it's ruled by the sun, which represents the journey of the soul overall, coming after being in Cancer, being ruled by the moon. I don't know if Leo is seen as a spiritual sign in astrology, but I can see why they can become very spiritual if they gain a crazy level of humility, which isn't easy as they are supposed to shine for themselves at that stage. But Leos have the capacity to be one of the happiest signs in the whole zodiac as well as Pisces, all for the fact that their actions soothes their soul, really touches their soul. It's the ultimate expression of the soul in Leo because the sun is your actions. So it's also no surprise that Leos are massive dreamers. They dream big and do it big. Scorpio is when the soul becomes a soul focus. Scorpios have the potential to really be in touch with their own soul and gain a full Pisces level of understanding at that stage. And with understanding comes soul healing. Where Scorpios can mess up is soul probing others before even knowing their own. If a Scorpio reaches their final stage, which is the Phoenix, that's where they shine like Leos. Leos can share their light and warmth when they're in their highest vibration, but Scorpios can do that whilst also healing your soul. Scorpios can gain control of their soul. But this doesn't always happen or need to happen for the soul to progress in those 3 stages. So if Aries wasn't that happy spark, putting their best foot forward, Leo wasn't full of and sharing that light, and Scorpio didn't learn about and heal their own soul, by the time you get to Pisces, you can have an unhappy soul. It's as simple as that, because it will be only now that the soul has been addressed properly, but at the same time, Pisces is here to heal other souls going through the same progression. This is why Scorpio is a popular sign to speak about, because it's the first time the soul becomes a real focus in the zodiac. And this is how it can create demons out of them as well, when they start fucking around with other people's souls. Aries and Leo are external soul projection, with the sun at the front. Scorpio and Pisces are internal soul connection, with Pluto and Neptune at the back. So it's like the first time learning about angels and demons in the zodiac at Scorpio. Scorpio will start sensing and seeing them, then learning about them. It's an important stage when it comes to the soul. After acknowledging the soul, that's why Sagittarius after Scorpio comes out like, so what is this place then? I want to know. That's why they're the sign of travelling and higher learning. Cancers will sense and potentially see things too, but they don't want to dive deep into it. It's not their purpose at that stage. They keep everything close to home, like the moon. Nurture their own in a physical way. So don't take this as me saying other signs aren't soulful. I'm just speaking from what these 4 life lessons do and how it relates directly to the soul. But no matter what happens on the way to the end, Pisces will have to account for all of this. And yeah, Pisces are known for helping others even when they're fucked up, but the reality is, you can't pour from an empty cup. So Pisces will have to learn about and heal their soul first, which will be dealing with sadness before they can go out there and uplift others. The good thing is, the things that will come very easy to a typical Pisces, like creating art, will soothe the soul. Being alone and creating will heal a Pisces in no time. So the earlier they tap into any form of creativity here on earth, the better. With this world being a materialistic place, remember, materials is great for signs like Taurus, Virgo, Libra, Capricorn off the top of my head, but it has nothing to do with the soul. So that automatically builds a place of deceptions and illusions. What we call real here on earth is not real to the soul, so sadness will be like a default energy Pisces will pick up here. Pisces will see all the deception, the shallowness, the greed, the selfishness, and it will hurt the Pisces soul. So when Pisces goes around touching people's souls, healing people, showing them what really matters, which lies in energies like love, doing that action alone will soothe the Pisces soul. It's those actions that helps Pisces transcend from here, so the soul can become fulfilled. If a Pisces isn't doing these type of soul-serving things, all they will know is sadness, no matter what their lifestyle looks like. Now, if they're dark-sided, as Pisces can be one of the most materialistic signs due to Venus, if they're dark-sided, all those Jesus-type traits I just described will be reversed. And it's there you will meet the devil. Pisces will work with sadness and bring sadness. Pisces won't transcend, they will descend and play with the devil. Capricorn rules Earth. Saturn rules Capricorn. Capricorn Saturn is the devil in some readings. So from a Pisces perspective, Earth can be like hell to a Pisces. And we all know there's two fishes with Pisces, one ascending and the other descending. So if a Pisces plays the Earth game, they will play as the devil. They will play in the devil's playground, going down the slides and shit, wee, and be a walking nightmare in the flesh here. I cannot stress this enough. As above, so below. But with the light actions, they will transcend and float through all limitations of Capricorn and Saturn, where heaven to a Pisces will be anywhere but here. Listen, I'm not 5 years old. I don't believe heaven's in the sky. What I pictured heaven to be is now what I see when I'm on a plane flying above clouds. But heaven to me is back home to the creator of all. And that is where Pisces transcends to. Hell is here on earth, not beneath earth. All those demons they speak of in hell, etc., they are all here amongst us, living side by side with us. And this is who Pisces can play with. And I mean really play with. Ring of roses, a tissue, all of that. Where do dark Pisces go when they leave here? They stay here. Either end up a lost spirit, seeking a connection, or have to repeat being a Pisces again, or even worse, start right back at Aries, psyche wiped clean, start right back at the ram. That's not to say I believe that's the same case for a light Pisces who does something that could be morally wrong on a human level. But Pisces, true Pisces are soldiers of the light with access to the dark. If you're amongst demons on earth and aren't a demon yourself, the only way you will survive is to literally fight demons. That's what Pisces is. Light and dark. So overall, this is why sadness will be a feeling Pisces will know very well. Their own sadness and others. This life is a battlefield. And in reality, Pisces appears armorless. When spiritually, Pisces is surrounded by more protection than you can imagine. But it's not easy. So tears will be something Pisces will also be familiar with. Sometimes those tears aren't even the Pisces. It's tears from the collective. Pisces tears are energy. A release. How Pisces tears became a thing of Pisces being crybabies is kind of insane if you actually know what and who you are dealing with. Cause these tears don't symbolize weakness at all. It signifies strength. It means the Pisces is alive. They are in touch with their feelings and others. Those tears represents the collective ocean. It's flowing through the Pisces' whole being. They are at one with it all, and that is what you see in a Pisces' eyes, which can appear dreamy or scary to an observer. And from a Pisces is in touch with their soul and their feelings. This is why when they are able to turn their feelings off, you will not want to be one of those people that thought that Pisces was weak. Because now, your fears are going to get turned on. I don't know if any of you have lost family members or gone through some traumatic shit where it was an extreme attack to your emotions. But all true Pisces will know, we don't crumble during these times. We may need a second, but we adapt. We adapt in a scary way. Pisces knows how to get through any form of trauma better than anyone else when it comes to the emotions, because they are always processing these feelings anyway. Even before it's a reality, whether it's in the dream world or the subconscious from a past life, Pisces deals with these feelings all the time, so they stay ready to heal another who needs it. Pisces can go so deep with anyone and for anyone, whether it makes the Pisces happy inside or not. This is the sad part about it. Pisces can still do things that will make their own soul sad to help out another and or to harm theirself. This is where you get the barrel eye fish. Yeah, they're deep down there with their green eyes doing what they do, but they look sad as hell doing it. Pisces represents life and death, and so do zombies. So be careful, because zombies have always been walking amongst us, detached from the soul, detached from life, and they're within that sign called Pisces. The dark's already there, but with the light amongst this stream of sadness on earth, Pisces is the lifeguard making sure everyone stays afloat. Lupita Nyong'o once said, "I discovered that joy is not the negation of pain, but rather acknowledging the presence of pain and feeling happiness in spite of it." Anger. Coldness. Pisces and anger is a very scary mix. You see, if you see a Pisces angry and the situation's resolvable, then resolve it, because Pisces don't get mad, they get cold. When they get mad enough, they get cold. If they are blood boiling angry, that's nothing. That's nothing. That's where you can get the K Michelles. You know, they'll cuss you out. Pisces can have that lethal Libra tongue. But the stage after that is when they are cold and feel nothing and will do everything you expected from the blood boiling anger stage. And this is what makes Pisces very dangerous people, because they can act out violence calmly. Think of it like hearing a noise so loud. It's so loud that it deafens you, where you can't hear nothing. You know the noise is still there, but it's muffled now. That's how the Pisces anger is. You ever known you are angry as hell, but can't feel it, but can channel it? Scary stuff. I've already mentioned that switch. From a Pisces is in touch with their emotions. From it's switched on, Pisces has the ability to switch it back off. On and off like a light switch. Because anger is an emotion, it's an energy, and it takes nothing for a Pisces to channel it or swim with it, be in control of it. Have you lot ever heard of Zenaida Portnova? Well, she was a Pisces who at 16 joined a Belarusian resistance movement against the Germans in 1942, during the World War II. She learnt how to use weapons and took part in sabotaging Nazi camps, killing up to 100 in total. In 1943, she began working in a kitchen that fed a German garrison and ended up poisoning many Nazis. They suspected her, and in her innocent plea, she ate the food to prove it's not poison. She didn't initially fall ill, so the Germans let her go, but she soon fell ill afterwards. She eventually recovered and was sent back into the garrison with her group, but was captured this time. After this point, it gets sketchy in typical Pisces fashion. Apparently, during one of her interrogations, she took a pistol of the interrogator and shot and killed him. and there were 2 other guards who came to investigate. She was eventually beaten and tortured and blinded and then executed not long before her 18th birthday. Now when you hear stories like this, you think Aries, brave, courageous, fearless. But as I said earlier, Aries are like this, not caring about the enemy, which will only work for so long. You need to know your enemy, so Pisces will be like this, knowing who they are up against and still not care cause they go cold. It literally represents how bullies always end up getting fucked up, cause they're constantly exerting their energy, and the victim is absorbing the bully's energy and storing their own. What always ends up happening? Who becomes the victim in the end? So these acts are not out of the ordinary when it's for a real purpose with Pisces. Look at Harriet Tubman, another Pisces. Same stuff, fighting oppressors, channeling evil to fight evil. Anger, turning cold, being ruthless is all a choice for a Pisces. I repeat, it's a choice. I cannot stress to you how dark a Pisces can get, but if they do, they literally submit their soul to that energy and allow it to take over their whole being. From here, you are dealing with a demon. There's quite a lot of similarities between Pisces and Aries that I'll break down in another video, but they both signify the start and the end in the grand scheme of things. Forgiveness is a Pisces trait. It is. But that's not always the case. If your karma's to be served, you can forget any form of remorse from a Pisces that's gone cold. You think cause you're reformed and gone in the church and repented that you're safe from a Pisces that still has your face in their head. Nothing will save you if a Pisces is coming for you. Nothing. Pisces do not have wars and battles with people. They don't have long outstanding rivalries. If you're an enemy, they can put you aside for a later date. Pisces will strategically eliminate you. They will terminate you. Pisces will turn into carbon monoxide on you. It's not a war if one side is attacking. And if you declare war on a Pisces or show a Pisces you're an enemy, you will learn what a hidden enemy is. There won't be no battle, but there will be a fish standing on the podium, flapping their tail in victory. You can start a problem with a Pisces, then go prison for some other reason. Pisces are people that can monitor your prison sentence and wait. They will wait and wait. Could be 5, 10, 20 years. A Pisces will wait for you. The anger could have been gone from day 2 of your sentence, but that coldness lasts forever or until your karma has been served with Pisces. And you see that day you come out, ready to start your new story after being locked up for years. Pisces will introduce you to the end. Fuck your hope. Fuck your optimism. Fuck your change. Karma was waiting for you. Do not underestimate a Pisces' ability to preserve energy. They can lock away a violation you commit today. Freeze it. Freeze time. Or should I say, pay zero attention to time. Cause it's not real to a Pisces. Reopen it years down the line and it can feel as if it happened that same day they revisit it. And as easy as Pisces can move on, is as easy as they can go back. There's a fixed side to a Pisces that resembles Taurus and Scorpio, a side that can literally show itself in darkness. Pisces don't just only go with the flow, they can go against it, they can change the direction of it, they can freeze it. It's known Pisces are the magical sign. And yeah, all Pisces can do tricks for you and entertain you, pulling rabbits out of hats. But never for a second think it's a Hufflepuff thing. Cause there'll be mud blood everywhere when you're left headless like Nick when that Draco gets pulled out. By one Pisces alone in a circle. Still turn you ghost and leave you moaning like Myrtle. Harry Potter was on the other day, I had to fit that bar in somewhere. Potter. But seriously, if you think the shark is scary, have you seen what the underside of a shark looks like? That's what Pisces is hiding within them. A fucking demon. Pisces can forgive and forget, yes. They can swim away and let you swim away. They can throw all that pain back in the ocean, but never forget. Pisces is not like Aries. It's not big bang then move on, no. Pisces has to process it all. Pisces has to deep it. And even after forgiving, it will all still be in the ocean. And so are you from they meet you. So don't think Pisces might not just double back one day after stumbling across a past violation. The fish can switch just like that. It's a choice. You see how Scorpio can be the waking life equivalent to a succubus, stealing your soul through sex. Pisces can be that demon you see during sleep paralysis. You're frozen, you can't move, and it's coming towards you. That's when you'll know what Pisces is really about. When it's too late. No warning, no nothing. You won't even feel the cold. You will feel nothing. And will probably go from the fear alone when you realize the isolated jail cell you're stuck in face to face with a shark, where second by second the cell's being filled with water. There will be no escape. Keep thinking Pisces is prey until they have to pray for you. There's an extreme state of anger a Pisces can go in. Feelings get shut down. They know they're angry but cannot feel it, but they are still in the mindset to release it. This is the most dangerous stage because Pisces are now fully in control of their shark. It's detached from it but got a leash around it. Where the Pisces will only seriously know how angry they got when they are either mid-releasing it or the situation passed without an action. That's when Pisces will deep it on an emotional level. When the feelings get switched back on. And now they have to shift all that anger. And this is the stage where you can really face your own shark, your own demon. Because it's down to you to push it back deep down inside you. This has to be done in isolation. You don't want to be and you can't be talking to a Pisces at this stage. Because that demon is outside of the Pisces but attached to the Pisces. They need that alone time to put it back. You will only know that numb cold side of a Pisces anger if you have experienced it. And seriously, it's not a joke. Real life Grim Reaper. Possibly. I'll tell you guys a quick story in a sec. Like I said in my anger video, I'm just one of those Pisces where my shark was out early. There's nothing special or new, it's what it is. There's millions of me. But when younger, it was kind of easier because you just get mad then you lay it out in whatever way. But you see like now, if I get angry, which isn't very often, but it's still very extreme. I used to love physically fighting. Not the mental part of it, like the build up. But now it's like anytime that anger gets triggered, it's like it opens a portal to all this demonic shit where my thoughts get dark, and that's been me from my teens. And that's why I've never liked getting angry and will avoid it if it's not worth it. If I didn't gain a level of control over my emotions as a teen, I can swear to you I would have been lifed off from at least 15. Also, that I had love to focus on during those times because I was in relationships, or if I wasn't, I was chasing love. That helped a great deal. Being in love probably saved me if I keep it real. Sometimes just the idea of love kept me sane. Which is also very dangerous because as we know, love isn't like Disney movies. Well, not all the time. My fantasies of living in Pie Sydney land, where all my celebrity crushes walked around with only leaves covering their private parts, telling me to get the baby oil, they need a massage, kept me going too. And movies and games, I used to get lost in all those things, and it's funny, all that stuff is Pisces world, which the average human uses to relax. And I still do it now and then to this day. That's the effect Pisces has on others. We relax others the same way their favourite movie could, for example. But the way my mind used to work when it came to the dark side, I didn't used to think I'd make it to 30 from either doing something dumb or just fucking it all off, but love helped. One thing I learned from my early teens was act now, not later. Now hear me out. In my teens, I decided to take the Aries approach because if I allowed myself to go home and sleep on it, that shit's going to be taken way out of context. And no, I haven't got any prominent Aries placements. Now, little story time. So how I got to this realization was, I was in year 9, which is like 13, 14 years old. I think I was 14 at this time. By these times, I had already had a few fights. I'm used to it by now. You know, kids will be kids. So one day after school, one of my friends, who was winding me up all day, just being annoying, literally shouted out that I should suck my mum in front of everyone. But the kicker was, he said it as the bus he got on was driving off. So I couldn't chase him. I don't know if America has the route masters like we do, but back in the day you could jump on a bus that was moving because it was open. So he's jumped on the bus as the bus is moving and shouted it. It was so cinematic. Like, he shouted my name and everyone, including me, turned around and looked at him and he said, "Suck your mom." It's just the way, mom. As the bus was driving off. So it created like a fading effect. And this was in front of not only people from my school, but other schools and the random public. It was embarrassing, basically. And you can imagine the reaction. Lots of ha-has and hee-hees. Now, normally, it might have just been whatever. Would have just been a little friendly punch-up. A couple tire pulls and stuff, you know, light stuff. But that he was winding me up all day, I think he's an Aries, funny enough. Either a late Pisces or an Aries. So when he did that after winding me up all day, it was like last straw. And I felt myself go numb with rage for the first time ever. It's like I went boiling hot for 4 seconds. Then after that, I felt nothing. But I knew I was angry, if that makes sense. That was the first night I didn't sleep from anger. I had all these evil thoughts in my head. I couldn't function. I didn't eat, didn't play my PS2, didn't chat to no girls on the phone, didn't do my homework. All I could think of was when I catch him the next day. Wasn't fantasizing. All I had was his face in my head and all this dark shit. Like, I couldn't get the image of his face out of my head. When a Pisces gets to that fixated state, like a Taurus or a Scorpio, the only way the image goes away is after they have sorted it. So next day came and I was cold, calm as hell. He walked into class, gave me his wind-up merchant grin he used to do, and I just looked at him calm. When first break hit, I activated. I went hunting for him, asking people where he is, because he got let out before me. I eventually caught him in the toilets drying his hands, and the shark got unleashed, swinging like the 60s, got him right into a corner and let loose. Now, to be real, I did regret it afterwards, because like I said, he was my friend. Out of all the fights I've had, this one and the one I mentioned in the anger video is my only regrets, because they were so scared they didn't fight back. And I'm not a bully at heart. If I know from the start the other person won't fight back, I probably won't attack. If I keep it real, it depends on the scenario. But he was so surprised, so shook up that he couldn't even fight back. To this day, I remember the noise he let out with the first attack. Oh! It was like his soul left him. Because the school bathroom didn't have a door. It was like an open space you turned into. So as he's drying his hands, all he would have seen in the corner of his eye is me coming round the corner and lunge at him. I just remember how he ended up from the hand dryer all the way into the corner. I couldn't even tell you. What I didn't like was he was apologizing as I was attacking. But do you know what the kicker is? If our mutual friends didn't stop me, I wouldn't have stopped. In my heart of hearts, I could tell you I wouldn't have stopped. And that's what scared me that day. I wouldn't have stopped. He was scared of me in that moment, whilst I was scared of myself. And what everyone was seeing was only the beginning. I wasn't even in 5th gear yet. It's like with every blow, I was getting stronger. That coldness was getting warm. That full alignment with anger was taking place as the attack was going on. As mad as it sounds, I felt like I was absorbing him with every hit. I felt like I was dead from the minute I went numb, and now with every blow in this attack, I was coming back alive. So as our friends and whoever else was there pulled me off him, trying to figure out what's going on, that connection got broken. That feeling I felt building up faded, and I was calm again, just like that. That energy got released. It's like I got woken up out of a trance, a lock-on mode I was in. My friend got up and was like apologising, but what I did was lightly grab onto the arm of his blazer under all these people crowding around and between us. Once I had a hold of him, knowing he couldn't run as he's looking at me like he's seen a ghost, I told everyone it's cool, I'm done. As they let go of me, I swung one more time, and that shit echoed. And you know school crowds always make these things worse. That collective ooh after didn't help. But I didn't want to knock him out at that point. That was just like a last reminder. Then I walked off, because by the time I swung that last one, I was ultra calm. I was back to normal. I didn't have any anger in me at all. So why I really done that last hit, I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm guessing I was frustrated I didn't get to go as far as my soul wanted. Maybe, I don't know. Also, I never liked being crowded, especially after fights, because all people want to do is feel your energy. That's why they touch you. It's the same as scoring a goal or a touchdown. Your teammates want to congratulate you, but also absorb some of that energy. And that's why Pisces will retreat after exposure like that, if it's negative. We don't want to spread it. Signs like Aries, Leo and Libra will love that stuff. Well, no, I'll exclude Aries, because Aries won't just do it for attention. Aries will brook you up on and off camera. But Leo will make a public example out of you and get energy from the crowd. Leo will use you as an example to others to show why they are the king or queen. So if you're ill-equipped, don't go toe-to-toe with no Leo, because they are born for that shit and will tear you apart publicly. If there's no crowd or nothing to gain from it, a Leo might not even fight you, which will equally make you feel like shit, because they will make you feel like you're not worthy of a title challenge. Libra is a sign that will do it to win others over. You will be a pawn in their game to please others, whether it's verbal or physical. Libras with an ulterior motive will be down for it. That desire to earn others' respect is enough to make a Libra act on you to make a public example out of you. Because in this world we are in, reputation is everything. This is a Capricorn's world. 10th house is about your public reputation, fame, social status. So these two signs, Leo and Libra, will enjoy destroying your reputation, as well as Capricorn. The thing is, Capricorn can either take you out one-on-one, crowd or no crowd, because when others hear your social status is deceased, they'll get the recognition for it either way, whether you saw it or not. But when matured, Capricorn will send other signs from Aries to Pisces to do it for them and reward them for it. Bounty lists, putting money on someone's head, that's Capricorn territory by default. And Virgo if dark-sided. Pisces has done all that shit. So in a Pisces soul, we don't want their attention and know what their attention really means. And also don't want to spread that negative energy if we are naturally positive. And this attack I executed in this story was all done in front of the school camera in that area. And I was fully aware and didn't care. That's the shock. That camera must have not been working that day because I didn't get into any trouble following it. Same story as my anger video. All I remember was the looks on others' faces. And that was a reoccurring theme through my early teens. And these are the things that makes Pisces secretive in the long run. Because Pisces is misunderstood by default, so being misjudged on top of it isn't a nice feeling. When everyone sees the shark, they won't understand it, because they'll just be seeing the result of something, the end of a cycle. And Pisces also won't explain themselves once they're locked into Terminator mode. They'll just show actions, so that will lead to a further misunderstanding. You're seeing a savage attack, not knowing that could be the karma of a babysitter touching the Pisces niece or nephew, for example. Pisces won't tell you why they're sharking their shit up. That's why you need signs like Gemini to explain to others what's going on if they're in the know. But that was my style when young and in shark mode. Unexpected attacks in response to violations. But every issue I've had after that weren't my friends. And wasn't done in public unless it had to be. Me and that friend made up and everything. I don't speak to him now. We just naturally drifted during college days. But he's one of those people where if I heard he was in trouble right now, after all these years, I'll defend him. As long as it isn't no kiddie or women related stuff. And that's not just out of guilt either. But from that day, I told myself, Act now and not later. If I allow a few minutes to go by of any violation, then it's going to get bad. Because I'm going to come back. It's just when. And the longer it takes for me to take action, the worse it will come out. So from there, in terms of school, people knew what was coming when I went quiet in any disputes. Because, well, you can't hide yourself in a system like that, can you? This is why Pisces doesn't like any form of system, because they can't be how they naturally are, which is very low key and in their own world. Sag and Aquarius is the same, but with Pisces it's real bad because we don't even feel at home on Earth in general. So being on Earth and in a system can potentially feel like one big prison, regardless of how Pisces can adapt. Was I sensitive? Fuck yeah I was, but not in a crying way, as typically mentioned with Pisces. I was sensitive to the energy sent my way. I was sensitive to disrespect and tried my best avoiding sleeping on a violation if I didn't want the situation to turn extreme. That act now, not later, only applies to people I care about. Like if I'm annoyed about something. Speak now, not later. Resolve it now. With an actual enemy, that shit goes out of the window. That becomes strategic feasting time, where I'll purposely sleep on it. If you've listened clearly to what I said happened from going angry to cold to attacking, it's like the soul goes into feeding mode. It goes hungry. Imagine you're chained to a wall and starving, and someone has placed your favourite meal a few feet away from you, out of your reach. The food remains at the right temperature, no dust touching it or rats coming along to nibble on it. It's magical. At first you're going to be aggressively struggling to try break free, to eat, because you're starving. You can smell it, you can taste it, you can see it. Anytime you close your eyes, you're going to see the food in your head. When all that struggle dies down, you're going to still be starving, but you're calm now. You don't even feel hungry. All of a sudden, you realize your body's no longer chained to the wall. You're now free. When, how you got freed, you won't know. But now you're going to pounce on that food and tear it the fuck up. Every bite you take is going to be felt in your core. You may even eat a plate too. Nothing will be left. A random rat could pass at that point. You're so into feasting mode that you pick that shit up and bite its head off too. After you finish eating, on all fours on the floor like an animal and look up, you're going to see a random mirror there. And you will look at yourself and not recognize yourself. You'll face the beast that was always on the inside, now on the outside. This can scare you enough to go and chain yourself back to the wall and ignore any plate that's placed in front of you again. Or you will like what you see in that mirror and go hunting for more food. That's another analogy for Pisces anger. That coldness Pisces goes into is like an empty vessel waiting to be filled. It's like Pisces drops everything in their being to absorb you. I guess this story is more for the younger Pisces or the shark ones to avoid or navigate it better, because that phase is dangerous to ourselves and others. It's not controlled like the stage after it. And Pisces can and will fuck up at that stage, make many mistakes, have many regrets, all the while those shark teeth are biting. But as dangerous as it is, that shark stage is necessary, as that is what you will use to break down barriers. Not just people, but anything that stands in your way. The same way a shark's fin cuts through water, you will use that to cut through the waves of life. The final stage after that, nothing needs to be broken down because you've merged with everything. And as I said in my Pisces revenge video, there's no point apologizing once Pisces is in attack mode. No mercy will be shown in that moment. The mindset will just be terminate, consume. I don't know how life is in America, but you see in secondary school in London, 2 simple words, your mum, was the equivalent to walking into a religious establishment and pissing on pictures of their saviour. I.e., you're getting fucked up. Man, I can tell you numerous stories about other signs from school alone, before life even got real after school. One, I had a close Virgo Arab friend. And one day he had trouble with some other guy in the school. And he showed me some weapon he brought in to use on him. It was like a blade that you grip. Like if you form a fist, the blade will be sticking out of your fist basically. Some Wolverine shit. And he was gonna go for this guy at break. Punch him up with it. The way I had to talk him out of that, because to be real, it wasn't that deep what they argued over. And 2, I did think, man, you're my friend. You ain't leaving me in this jail alone. But yeah, Virgos are sneaky and dangerous people. Very calculated in war, which I really learned when we was about 18, 19. My other close friend to this day, who's a Cancer, he's got into a little fight with some other student. I didn't even see it, and I think he came out a little worse. The guy bust his lip or something. So my Cancer friend just walked out the school and went home to come back with a weapon, but got intercepted, fortunately. Even from way back before our balls dropped, I've always told people you don't want him as an enemy, because he's really about that eye for eye stuff, like a typical Cancer. Before I even knew he was a Cancerian and what that even is. My other right-hand Scorpio friend had an issue at school where his older brother came down after school with a gun. So I've seen his brother in the playground, so went over to him like, what gun? And he's shown me what's in his joggers. Pause. In the school playground, I was asking who the guys were. And again, I had to talk him out of it because it wasn't worth it. And plus, everyone's seen me talking to this guy in the playground. Cameras everywhere. It would have been stupid if something went down after that. And this guy used to hang in an area where my older cousins did. So I knew that weren't no BB gun. But take note, I was doing all that peace talk whilst having that shark mindset. That's how a Pisces can contradict their own self. Telling others not to do what that Pisces their self is currently on doing. I've got stories for days, but if I'm real, I'll probably only talk about the late teen adult ones when I'm an old man. The real life serious ones. If I make it that far, the L's and the W's. Any typical Pisces will have stories because once we're out there, we are out there. And that's what makes us retreat for peace and live a minimalistic life, or go even further with it all and take over everything. But when I say people will reveal themselves to a Pisces, it's true. But a lot of the times it's for the Pisces to heal or stop shit from happening. A Pisces won't answer you in the present. They'll answer you speaking from the future, where it will make more sense to others as time goes on. So obviously, with that mindset from young, as an awoken Pisces, and when you leave school, where problems you get into with people can happen in a way where if you want to retaliate, it will have to be another day. You'll have no choice but to sleep on it. And that's where you get the real Pisces shocks. So from those experiences, if I decide now to not give into anger, it's because I know why. And this is how a Pisces can appear non-confrontational. When really, it's just because they've chosen not to go there. They can move like a coward, but not actually be a coward. So mind with that one. It's a part of the deception. But there is obviously also cowardly Pisces. Let's not scratch that out. But this mindset can also be of a Pisces who has never had a fight in their life. Never even said a bad word to someone. They can still know in their soul they've got something in there that they have to control if they're self-aware. And that's their shock. Pisces is not afraid of anyone but their self deep down. If you've ever been there, then you know it's a very draining experience. And more times than not, it's not even worth it. And neither is the jail time. People dying over nothing. I've never done the gang thing. Oh, I know a lot of people in general. I've had and got connections. Plus I've got older siblings and cousins who did fully go that route. But it's always seemed like a trap to me. Bunch of angry, rebellious and envious people stuck together with everyone knowing each other's business. Sounds smart. That sounds like the perfect conditions for prosperity, doesn't it? No, I've always kept it as 2, maybe 3 people maximum around me, because I know myself. If you aren't or weren't those people, you won't see me often, or know what I'm up to. Now, I never said I didn't do gang related stuff, all I said was I wasn't in a gang. A Pisces in an actual gang is a very dangerous person though, as in they officially rep a gang. Very dangerous, male and female, especially if they don't know their own power or haven't controlled that shark yet. Recipe for disaster. As I've said before, any gang you come across, look out for the Pisces and the Sagittarius members. Be aware of who they are. It can potentially save you a lot of trouble when it comes to dealing with the rest. If you do go there with all that, just make sure it's worth it. Always use wisdom. Just because you can, doesn't always mean you should. And that's something every Pisces has to learn, because that adrenaline rush we will get when we realise We can match anyone's energy, from the nerdiest to the baddest person you know. That shit hits like crack. And I don't know about you, but I ain't no crackhead. A bit off topic and random, but for the UK lot, did you lot know Phil is a Pisces? Big bad Phil Mitchell from EastEnders. Obviously it's a character, but this Pisces is a legend in the UK. He's been sharking people on TV for decades. He's been an alcoholic and everything in the show. But in real life, the problem is, from Pisces is out of that dreamer stage, Pisces will always be prepared to go there mentally. This is what others may not realise when going against a Pisces, because the anger's not evident until it is. Pisces is about life and death in every way. And Pisces doesn't fear death, let alone another person. What they may initially fear is suffering, not what comes after suffering. Fred Shuttlesworth once said, "You have to be prepared to die before you can begin to live." Love. Admiration. You see everything I said about anger? You can slap it all under love, because this is what comes with a Pisces love. Pisces do not play about anyone they love. I mean, they really do not play about anyone they love, as Pisces loves the deepest. Pisces doesn't play about love itself, the energy love. Pisces takes it very seriously. That hopeless romantic is early stage Pisces. A true Pisces love is true and pure. Even if the thought of breaking up with a true Pisces enters your head, a Pisces would rather you leave and move on than stay trying to convince you why you should stay with them. They don't want to waste their love. Don't bring uncertainty to a Pisces. Don't force them into a limbo situation, because they will leave you to it. They love to the pits. They love to the soul. You hurt them, you not only hurt the Pisces, but you wake up demons. Love is the best thing a Pisces can have in their life. The best thing. Having a person or people or a thing there to share love and adoration towards can ground and also have a Pisces floating. Because Pisces loves to love. But if you think anger is the most dangerous emotion, you've probably never been in love. Love is an extremely dangerous energy, extremely dangerous. And that is also something Pisces has to gain control of, because they love hard. Same as that example earlier of that Pisces guy falling in love with the celebrity Pisces, then offering her on first meet. This is the dangers of love, because it comes with delusions. Can be caused by the other person, or you may delude your own self. Pisces goes through this and comes out with a crazy level of enlightenment thanks to Neptune. When healthy, love conquers all. Some say fear, but the ultimate expression of a true Pisces is worldwide lover. Spreading love everywhere and protecting, healing. When unhealthy or dark-sided, Pisces will spread fear. They'll fill your hearts up with fear. Fear and love is the two strongest emotions to humans. But even a light Pisces can spread fear out of protecting those they love. So you see how you can't pick and choose when you get to Pisces. You have to navigate it all. I've said before, Pisces doesn't hate anyone. And I mean that. It's either Pisces fucks with you, or you don't exist, or you soon won't exist. Pisces hasn't got room to hate, but if they do hate, it will be on a large scale. Pisces is an extreme sign. To hate one person solely will take a lot, and will more than likely be a focus of the Pisces until you no longer exist. There's a level of I don't give a fuckness a Pisces can activate that I can't even put into words, other than they can switch off your existence. Aquarius is the first stage of this, that rebel. Pisces is the extension of this. Now, betray a Pisces love, and this can be dangerous for you. Physically, mentally, and spiritually. You shouldn't betray anyone's love. Love is a very powerful emotion, and can turn even the most peaceful people you know into absolute cold-blooded savages. This is what Pisces, Cancers, and Libra can show you especially. Signs that you may think is weak and passive and peaceful. Put love in the equation and things suddenly become scary and dark if it goes wrong. War and death will both meet you. Libra will knock your door with both. Open enemy. And Pisces will sneak in through the back with both. Hidden enemy. And Cancer will passionately fuck your shit up in the moment. No point really adding Taurus into the mix. Taurus's temper is known by the whole world. But in general, when it comes to love, do not play with the Venus signs. With Pisces, when in love, they give you their soul. You become their light, their everything, their ocean. Pisces are extremely loyal people when it comes to genuine love, long-term for life type love. Cause there's a star in your eyes that I see. I'll bring it out when we're out at sea. I'm crazy about you and you about me. And that's forever, so never doubt me. I got this thing that I want you to keep. I'll give it to you as we swim so deep. It's my soul, yeah I know, don't speak. You're so precious, so kind, so sweet. So this also makes Pisces open to attacks, open to betrayal, open to pain. Cause Pisces to feel any of those negative emotions and it will be thrown right back to you, whether the Pisces wants to hurt you or not. Pisces are the mirrors here. They are your reflection. So it's very dangerous for you to come around a Pisces and play with their love. And this can also make Pisces reluctant to even go there with people for their own sake. A Pisces can swim away even when they fall in for you just to save you if they detect you aren't as serious. Oh, ain't that kind? Because many people, especially in this day and age, aren't serious about love and real relationships. And the ones that are hidden amongst game-playing, hate-fueled, bitter and broken users. But we also know Pisces isn't innocent when it comes to love. If dark-sided, a dark Pisces can make you fall in love with them very easily and feel nothing for you other than consume. They'll bleed you dry down to your core, then leaving you with nothing. You want to make someone weak for you? Do anything for you? Give their whole being to you? Sounds like how a Pisces is, right? This is what a Pisces can also do to you. Please take note. And this one right here is why Pisces, especially the men, have an ugly reputation. They will use and abuse many people when using love, but being detached from that emotion, breaking many hearts, leaving holes in people's souls. Love is very dangerous. Pisces can really be hurt by it, and can also use it to hurt others. Lying, cheating, stealing, man, Pisces can thrive in that world. It's actually crazy how Pisces can thrive in lightness and darkness here on earth. You gotta see it to believe it. When healthy, Pisces will adore so many people, many people. That seeing everyone as connected thing isn't a lie or a rose-tinted glasses thing. It's real. The creator's in all of us. We're all literally like siblings. A giant incest pool. Pisces can be storytellers, but can also love hearing your stories. Pisces can be artists, but love seeing your art. It's about vibes with Pisces, and they love being around people who are expressive in healthy ways, and that literally means everyone. Every zodiac sign. Pisces are party people as much as they are loners. A big place where you can meet and connect with many people and have fun. You wouldn't expect Pisces to be the type to shut away in their room the next day from how they will move in that party. Pisces are people at heart. They literally contain all the signs. It's a party in itself happening in Pisces. That's why we're nuts. Non-stop party. There's so much beauty in life and people that Pisces can spend their whole life seeking it in not only an idealistic way, but a realistic way too. The dreamer never leaves Pisces. They just become more realistic with it and what to expect living on Earth. Once that shark stage is controlled, you get someone who can take any direction in life like a fish, and it's love what keeps Pisces going. Love. The love for loving, exploring, dreaming and experiencing. The real beauty of life. The real beauty of it for each and every one of us is everything in life is either a lesson or a blessing. It's a lesson or a blessing. Now, how you view those two aspects and how bad it affects you will differ from person to person. But with optimism, nothing can ever break you if you just treat it as a lesson or a blessing. You will always win some way or another with that mindset because you have gained something valuable. That's what the Pisces optimism is, and it's not unrealistic. It's how you get through life on earth. You can trust a Pisces with that because believe me, in their soul, they know. They know that's the way to navigate life. The glass is always half full. Always. But as I said earlier, you can't pour from an empty cup. So make sure you love yourself first and foremost. It's essential as a Pisces. We're people who can naturally have a low self-esteem, which is what it is. But when you learn your abilities and the effects you can have on others, always make sure you apply that to yourself too. Because Pisces, although it's a sign that loves love, it doesn't need to be in love like Libra. That's Libra's life lesson. Pisces can be alone and happy to be alone. Queen Latifah once said, "When I was around 18, I looked in the mirror and said, you're either going to love yourself or hate yourself. And I decided to love myself. That changed a lot of things." Confusion, gratitude. I know some of the things I say about Pisces could come as a surprise if you aren't self-aware, or have just been listening to numerous astrologers only paint that pretty and deluded picture of Pisces, but I'm here to give you the full 100%. Not the 50%, "oh, I like to play Candy Crush on my phone and eat bubblegum" side. Pisces is a deep and dark sign as well as being light and flighty, beauty and the beast. In this place we call Earth, others see it as Pisces are in a fish tank, so they can observe us, being lost and delulu, analyze us, and what that normally results to is us being described as lazy, irresponsible, escapists. Oh, but they're loving, compassionate people though. Really condescending ways. Even Pisces' dark traits, they'll attribute it to something foreign, cause Pisces can't be evil, they're also adorable. Will cry if they even think of harming someone. Oh, Pisces are so lovable, they don't judge anybody. Yeah, that's what you think. Pisces literally learns from their opposite sign, their sister sign Virgo, that you have to analyze people. That's what Pisces does behind the scenes. They just don't make you feel like you're being judged and do not look down on anyone. That's the difference with Pisces, but they get to know who they're dealing with and more. The truth is, others are the ones really in the fish tank whilst Pisces are watching them. They think they can go fishing for a Pisces, then catch a Pisces who wanted to be caught and don't even realise when that Pisces starts fishing their personal information. If you don't understand something or someone, why is what you don't understand the problem and not you? When you meet a true Pisces, what you will meet is an out of this world intelligent person. Whether they can bring it down to earth is another story, but from their unlocked, they will be very wise and intelligent people. I'm sure most of you have seen Terrence Howard trending recently, another fish in the sea. He's mainly known as an actor, but watch his Joe Rogan interview if you have time and hear what he says about how the universe works, how everything is energy, frequency and vibration, how everything is waves and one big ocean, how everything is one. Literally what Pisces represents, everything being one. He's just describing it in a physics way. I was listening to him saying he was conscious in the womb and having dreams going to this temple where he was shown the flower of life and how things works, how this isn't his first time here and he's aware of it. I don't even know if he's aware he's a Pisces, I'm sure he is. But what he literally speaks is Pisces language. So it's just an example of what a Pisces who really taps into their self and surroundings sounds like. Pisces are spiritual messengers. It's as plain as that. But also observe all the comments, the positive and the negative ones, being called schizo, etc. And that's not even anything to do with astrology. That's just a man challenging people's beliefs and being seen as how Pisces are seen in astrology. It just highlights how Pisces are detached from this reality. We're not from here. People's reactions alone will literally show you how Pisces are viewed by the world, especially when they start trying to enlighten others. People either get enlightened or fooled by the Pisces, or get insultive towards Pisces. It's a spiritual thing. If you haven't experienced it or understand it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Sometimes it's not even what a Pisces is saying that's misunderstood, it's how they say it, because it can sound like a foggy Neptune dream. It doesn't sound real. So if they also chat some stupid sounding shit on top of it, we will appear deluded. People are mocking him for saying this information came to him in a dream and how he was conscious in the womb. You want to know what's crazy? I was telling my mum about the things he was saying and to watch it for her to have her take. She's a Scorpio, you know, they love all that mystical stuff like Pisces. And she said to me, he's probably not lying about being conscious in the womb, because when I was around 3 years old, I would say that I used to hear her and her sister, my aunt, talking when I was in her stomach. It's not like I was responding to questions like, do you remember this and that? Because you know how kids, especially at that age, will chat shit for attention in response. No, apparently I'd just come out with things like that. She said I used to say things like, I thought I chose a nice mummy when she got mad at me for whatever reason. I'm sure the reason was valid and I was just pouting. But she's a firm believer in we all choose to come here. We pick our parents and all that stuff. She's a very spiritually enlightened Scorpio. So only by mentioning that womb shit Terence said, I wouldn't even know I used to say those things because I don't remember none of that. But I did when I was 3. I know I used to say a lot of strange things as a child in general, but I never knew I was talking like that. So if Howard does remember it, then who's any of us to tell him he's wrong? Obviously, I can't vouch for everything he says in regards to physics and that. That's not my field, but I understand the frequency his message is being sent on. He's getting clowned for saying 1 times 1 should equal 2 instead of 1. But he's talking from a universal perspective, as in it can't equal 1 because now it's not balanced. One of the ones is missing. That's not how math works. We all know our times tables, how we've been taught. 1 in multiplication means 1. 1 time. But he's talking in the sense of there is no such thing as 0. If we're counting down from 1, the next number should be -1, not 0. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's an out, there's an in. There has to be balance. The only time 0 makes sense is when it comes to currency, which is a man-made thing. In the universe, 0 doesn't exist. There's no nothing. Everything is alive. Everything comes from the creator. 0 represents no amount in maths, like a placeholder. But 0 can spiritually represent the sum of everything, which also means nothing at the same time. But it just can't be nothing, otherwise nothing would exist. But 0 also exists for 0 to even be a discussion. But is 0 a natural number? Or was it just made to make sense of what appears to be nothing? Should things naturally start at 0 or 1? The whole concept of 0 is a philosophical argument within itself, and all that mind fuckery represents Pisces. Just for the fact he's even got people, teachers, mathematicians, explaining why 1 times 1 equals 1 is funny in itself. The fact it even makes you think about it in a positive or negative way tells you something. I get what he's trying to say overall, but coming out and saying things like that will get you shut down and you will look stupid because you're literally challenging the whole world's belief system. But when Pisces says shit like that, you need to understand they aren't talking from an Earth's perspective. And if his method was accepted, that will literally throw off the whole world in what we know. And that shit is not happening. Pisces should never be afraid of talking, whether it sounds smart or dumb, because people need to hear what you have to say. You're the spiritual messenger. Don't forget that. There's also another video where he explains how he gets into his character roles by turning the light off and praying whilst looking in the mirror to allow himself to be possessed. Yeah, it sounds fucked up, but it's what I've been trying to explain about Pisces. When a Pisces knows how to Pisces, they are the most dangerous of them all. Pisces will know about things they can't even explain to someone else unless they start really seeking within. That's what Pisces represents. Anytime a Pisces speaks up and goes against the grain, they will more often than not be seen as they've lost their marbles, unfortunately. But I can tell you from any Pisces starts speaking their mind, they honestly don't give a fuck. If others listen, good. But the Pisces has done their part anyway. They'd love to be understood and received well, but still, they've shared a message, enlightened you. It's your choice to listen and take it in. Even Einstein was ridiculed at first. No genius, no creative is a normal person. To even be creative, you've got to at least be a little off, separated from the sheep, thinking for yourself, insanely sane. Just be aware of what you're diving into. But this is what will typically happen when a Pisces becomes really tuned in. They will be very spiritual, but that's the dream world. On Earth and awake, they will eventually dive into some sort of science. Basic science, applied science, social science, or witchcraft, after already being tuned into art before they even wake up. It will typically start as social science with Pisces because, well, we're all birthed by our mothers or biological mothers. We'll have people in our faces from when we first open our eyes. But over time, Pisces will naturally start understanding people on a really deep level, on a psychological level, before even knowing what psychology is. We'll know about the human and the psyche as base level. Then we may dive even further than people. Pisces will end up going down those routes because it's how you gain a practical understanding of not only how things work on Earth, but how the universe operates too. This is why, as a baseline, Pisces will always have an inclination to art, because art is not measured by data. Science is objective, art is subjective, art is based on feelings. Art for Pisces will include everything from drawing, writing poems, writing stories, acting, making music, and so on. Just being creative. Aquarius, the sign of the mad scientist, is the sign before us for a reason. It's the start of experimenting and scientific discovery in the zodiac. Pisces expands on this in an out-of-world way, because that's what Pisces represents. Out-of-this-world things. It's universal. And to be honest, just like Aquarius, people ends up becoming boring to Pisces because we understand and can read others too well. But unlike Aquarius, we have to support others. We can be aloof, but have to return to help, to heal, to enlighten, to whatever. Aquarius can be aloof and stay aloof, building that spaceship and or jacking off. Pisces knowing about and connecting with every sign in the zodiac is really base level stuff. It's extremely easy for Pisces to do what I explain in these videos in regards to relating to the other signs. So if Aquarius is science, then Pisces is magic. Magic is basically unexplained science. Pisces is art and science combined. Pisces is imagination and discovery combined. Pisces are philosophical people. It's just most won't speak it in fear of sounding stupid or being misunderstood by the masses. But either way, Pisces will naturally have a philosophical and seeking mind where they question things that are presented as facts that don't align with the feelings in the soul. As within, so without. Pisces is more realistic in thought than you can imagine. It's just the truth a Pisces is connected to is not the reality presented to us here on Earth. This is a controlled and governed world we are in for a reason, full of deception, where the truth is seen as a lie and the lie is seen as a truth. It's backwards. But let me tell you something about this world. The truth of this world will not be shown to you in the waking life, or maybe in glimpses, glitches, but you will find the truth within, in the dream world, in the imagination. The answers will not come from here, about here, and that is why Pisces, the dreamers, are the last sign, and not factual based, scientifically diving Aquarius. Science is the proof, the highest form of knowledge here on Earth amongst humans. But Pisces are here too, showing you magic, showing you another world, showing you there's more to life than what we know in the waking life. There's life after death. Pisces can use science to show you, prove it to you, but that's not the only way. There's infinite ways Pisces can show you about the afterlife, spirits, demons, next realms, and it may not be a pleasant experience for the viewer in many cases. Depends on the scenario and the Pisces. Pisces are not from here, but can bring things from where they are connected to here into this realm. What is life? For the fact there's no right or wrong answer to that question should make you question everything. The answers will be both subjective and objective, not one or the other, both. Never forget, Pisces is ruled by Jupiter as well as Neptune. There's a crazy level of enlightenment going on over here. It's almost pointless expecting others to understand us. Confusion for a Pisces can come from listening to someone who is inside the tank talking as if you are the one in the tank. What I want you guys to always remember and never get lost in when it comes to astrology is it's all interpretation. It's all interpretation. Even astrologers disagree with each other, same way religious people who read the same book can argue over what something meant. It's all interpretations. I have some belief in astrology, same way I have some religious beliefs, but I'm not unanimous to either. I could never box myself to one belief like that. Many different things speak about the same thing in different ways. And that same thing is what is within us all, each and every one of us. As a Pisces whose mind is too expansive for the whole world, remember, Earth is not your home, so take nothing as 100% facts here. Work with your psyche, your intuition, because it's all in there. Everything is in there. That doesn't mean only listen to yourself or just listen to Pisces, no. It means thoughts and discoveries from every single sign, the whole 12, all these scientists, magicians, prophets, past and present. All that knowledge is stored in a metaphysical library that Pisces has access to, easier than the rest. So tap in. Speak your truth, what you've discovered, what makes sense to you. There's so much contamination to get lost in on this earth. We must wake up and swim around all that shit. We must become conscious in the subconscious. The most basic form of this is realizing you are dreaming when you are in a dream. From you can do that, you can expand on it. Sometimes the creator will even come to us in the dream world and show us what we need to know and act out. Pisces is the final mission. Even if you're a lazy Pisces smoking all day, I know 100% in your soul, you will feel like you ain't playing your part some way or another. You will feel it. But even with astrology, you can always tell the ones that are speaking from real life experience with other signs and coming from a place of self-realization, and the ones who are speaking from watching other astrologers and reading textbooks but not actually having their experience in real life. As a Pisces, you can just tell, because you just have a natural understanding of everyone and everything. It's built in. And this is why I say, when it comes to astrologers or people who aren't Pisces talking on Pisces in general, they won't know what the fuck they're truly talking about or who they're dealing with. And that's why Pisces have such a basic pink clouds and fairy dust description. Here's a quick article extract I just pulled off Google. It says, Pisces is idealistic and sees everything through rose-colored glasses. So much so that their outlook eventually becomes complete and utter delusion. Pisces would be wise to learn that they sometimes need to take people and situations as they actually are, not as what Pisces wishes they would be. It's these descriptions that has led the way in describing your average Pisces, and although they aren't wrong, but that's literally the Pisces child they are speaking about. The dreamer Pisces before that shark awakening. They speak like that's the be all and end all of Pisces, as if they don't have any ability whatsoever to reach a spiritual enlightening. In real life, outside of these videos, I'm a very mild-mannered person in general. I'm a listener, but goofy when I'm around good vibes. I like to joke and keep things light, but unless you're a Pisces or a Scorpio, you won't sense what I'm capable of. And from knowing my own self is why I'll never trust anyone else at face value. My goofy side is literally what made people want to test me when I was younger, until they found out otherwise. Because all my joking around was literally just my way of not being serious all the time. But inside, behind the scenes, serious stuff was going on. And that's what Pisces really is. It's serious business. It's the end of the cycle. It's not a merry-go-round experience at the fun fair, but we can make it appear that way. Other than that, we've got serious messages to share. So if you're into astrology and come across any of them saying Pisces are delusional and crybabies, just a general weak description, check what sign they are so you know who is giving you this rundown of Pisces. Because if it's a Sagittarius, for example, then that's a Sagittarius's interpretation of Pisces, not what Pisces actually is. Every sign's mission involves a learning of their self, except Pisces, who contains every sign learning about everything as one. Are they speaking from truly knowing several Pisces in real life? Both light and dark. Both the passive and aggressive ones. Or even better, a true Pisces that is both light and dark. Spreading misinformation which has made many Pisces feel worthless. Feel like they're weak. Feel like they are misunderstood. Feel like they are inferior to the rest. How much times did Kurt Cobain reference being a Pisces in a weak way? I can assure you, he would have been battling demons, then came across articles about being a Pisces, because that's what we'll do. If we don't seek religious stuff, we'll seek spiritual stuff for strength. If those fail, we'll seek substances or something similar. So he would have most likely looked up Pisces stuff at least once, read that they're weak and shit, and that stuff can mess up a Pisces who is in low spirits, giving them no hope, where they don't even know what a matured Pisces even looks like or sounds like, and will contribute to a Pisces taking action in wanting to leave this place prematurely. Know what you are saying to a Pisces and know who you are dealing with, or know that you don't know who you are dealing with. Nobody is inferior to anyone. That's what a Pisces will show you. Nobody is weak. Yeah, you can start off with some disadvantages, but there's strengths to every single sign, because every single sign represents the one spirit at the end of the day. Is your big toe more important than your left ear? No, because they both make up the human body. They're both needed. They will have their purpose with their abilities to fulfill that purpose. That's what the zodiac is. Astrology will show you everyone has their own chart, which is basically everyone is their own universe. Everyone is their own god. Every sign is in your chart. Then we get to Pisces, where every sign is in Pisces the same way it is in the zodiac. Pisces just represents it all. Pisces is the spirit. Even if you're a Pisces astrologer yourself and don't know about your other fish, then state that. Paint your pretty pictures acting like you fart rainbow dust. Maybe you actually do, but don't talk like the dark side of Pisces don't exist, because you're just feeding people bullshit. You know what's in the ocean. You've seen it for yourself, and if you haven't, you shouldn't be talking. Go and meet your shark before it gets you in trouble one day from unawareness. Pisces are doing some real good and some real damage in this world. It must be known. And those who just run with putting Pisces' name down in general, I get they would have had a bad experience, but the question always has to be asked. What did you do to that Pisces too? Because Pisces are mirrors and will serve you your karma. What Pisces will mainly show others is, look at yourself. Unless it was a dark Pisces, then I apologize and I feel your pain. This is just my understanding, my interpretation of everything as a Pisces. And my main goal is so everyone gains a correct and more realistic understanding of Pisces. It's not no guru thing or everyone follow me, I got the answers. No, you can learn from everyone. Everyone can teach you something. Just know who you're learning from. I ain't got the answers, yeah. And when people who's into astrology call Pisces deluded, just remember this. Lean in a little closer. You believe in fucking stars and planets influencing your celestial being. You believe in shit you can't even see. You believe that Mercury's got its head up Uranus's anus this week, that's why you feel like shit today. You run around flaunting your big three as if it's solid facts. There's people that would contemplate getting you sectioned for saying your phone broke because Mercury's in retrograde. If you're religious and believe in astrology, then you're sinning. You're gonna burn in the hellfire for eternity. No, but on the real, if you're into astrology, and you think Pisces is deluded, then I've got some big news for you, my friend. So are you. For the fact you even believe people born between February the 19th and March 20th are called Pisces and they are deluded makes you as deluded as that Pisces. You're just like us no matter what sign you are. You believe in astrology, Pisces is the I believe. So welcome to the club. Let's dance amongst stars. Let's dance amongst pink skies. Sniff rainbow sherbets and throw crystals at unsuspecting pigeons. Cause you're in Pisces world from the minute you start believing. And in case you haven't noticed, astrology is in Pisces world. All that mystical trying to make sense of it shit. Put some respect on the fish. This is why many Pisces will reject their spiritual side. Because the real magic workers, the real psychics, the real spiritual people represent the minority in those fields. It's overcrowded with nonsense and people talking about shit they truly know nothing about on a spiritual level. And if there's one thing a Pisces really dislikes, it's stupid shit. All that Pisces are gullible shit is for the birds. A true Pisces hates any form of bullshit. So much that they spot it before it even leaves your mouth. So miss us with all of that. And when you're sitting down studying other people's charts, you're in Scorpio's world. Pisces doesn't need to research others. They will learn about you and your soul in person. In real life, they won't give a fuck if you've got Chiron in the 4th house at 5 degrees sextiling a NASA rocket. You abused the mouth part of that blow up doll you stole from the skip a few weeks back whilst listening to Spice Girls' best hits. I'm keeping my eye on you. I don't give a fuck what your chart's saying. I don't give a fuck what your chart's saying. Pisces, believe in yourself. Never let anyone or anything put you down. You're a fucking Pisces. Look within. Everything you need's in your soul. I don't care how that sounds. Too many people for too long has shit on the sign while bigging up their own. Know your power. It's all in the ocean. And at the end of the day, we'll never fully be understood anyway. We're not supposed to. As long as you understand yourself, then you are good. As the universe, so the soul. Always give thanks for what you have and the people around you. Give thanks for the journey, because even if Earth or life isn't real, I'm sure it's one of the realest simulations out there for the spirit to feel some real human emotions to the core as you do in Pisces. So be grateful you're here, you're awake. My earliest memory I have, I was like 4, maybe 3. I remember I woke up one morning and it's like my brain properly switched on. And I'll never forget it because it was a Saturday morning and Power Rangers was on the TV. And the Blue Ranger was in some orange tube thing. Scientists say from 4, a kid should start remembering things consistently. So it makes sense on that level. But what I really remember from my earliest memories is that I always had these thoughts of the universe and had this image, this dream of stepping out of the universe and it was just all white. Like a blank piece of paper, just plain white. Just stepping out of space and it's nothing but white. Funny thing is, I've seen that depicted in cartoons over years, stepping out of the universe onto blank white paper. So I'm clearly not the only one who's had that strange thought. I haven't had those specific dreams since then, but my dreams have always been a wild ride. We could all literally be living in someone's imagination, someone's version of an ideal place. We will never know the truth. We'll never know until we do. It's just as a Pisces, even with all the science out there, it just doesn't seem enough. It doesn't fully line up with the Pisces feelings. We can tell there's truths that's not been mentioned, and that's what makes Pisces dreamers. So excuse us when we phase out seeking. Just always be thankful for being able to partake in this experience, as every single minute, someone's experience comes to an end, as another's begins. This life is one big cycle. There's no such thing as death. But you know what Pisces will eventually find on this internal seeking? Inner peace. Inner peace. And that's the greatest asset to this human experience. That's when you become untouchable, while simultaneously being in touch with everything. Ain't no wishful thinking or wishing going on over here. We make wishes and dreams come true. We manifest it. Pisces don't wish people good luck. We give them good luck. When someone says you're too sensitive, be grateful, because that means you're alive and in touch with everything. Oh, you don't feel it too? Too bad. Your greatest teacher as a Pisces is your own soul. It's all in your soul. What you should mainly take from these videos is know yourself and trust yourself. When you know yourself, everything else falls into place. And just thank God for titties. Every kind of titties, big ones, small ones. Oh, I love giant titties. Alan Rickman once said, there's a voice inside you that tells you what you should do. Now shut your ass up, put your seatbelts back on. Thank you for listening, by the way. I've got hay fever, my throat is killing me. But make sure that aisle is clear. We'll be arriving at our destination shortly.